This week on 19 Investigates, they're found in kitchens and bathrooms everywhere, but our investigation found that dust from cutting certain countertops can be deadly. A woman murdered as she drove home from her mother's birthday party. Nearly 3 years later, the case is still unsolved. Find out what police say they need to help them catch her killer. A data breach can put your personal information up for sale online. We'll share the simple steps you can take to cut your risk and limit the damage if it happens. Hi everyone, I'm Brian Duffy and you're watching 19 Investigates, a weekly streaming show where we dig deeper into the stories that matter to you. This week, our investigative team takes you inside a new pilot program aimed at preventing the trafficking of children. We'll also show you how one local county is using new technology to reunite missing pets with their owners. Those stories and more are still ahead on 19 Investigates. Tonight, we begin with potential hidden danger behind a popular home product. Man-made engineered stone countertops are everywhere in homes across America, but many of the workers who cut and grind these quartz slabs are getting sick with an incurable lung disease. Now the question is, should the product be banned? Here's senior national investigative correspondent Anna Werner.
They're countertops installed in kitchens and bathrooms across the country, made from what's called engineered stone, created from crushed quartz. Workers in small local shops nationwide cut and shape those stone slabs, but now many are becoming critically ill. Like 31-year-old Tyler Jordan.
Trying to take a deep breath. There's just a point where there's no more.
Tyler used to work in his parents' stone fabrication shop with his dad Jimmy until he got sick. Doctors first told him he might have cancer.
And then now, looking back, cancer would have been a better outcome.
Because instead, it was silicosis, a deadly illness caused by breathing in silica dust. Silica is present in natural stones like marble and granite, but studies show the amount of silica in man-made engineered stone is often far higher, as high as 90%, much of it in tiny, nano-sized particles that can lodge deep in the lungs. Hundreds of stone workers are being diagnosed with silicosis. State data shows 480 in California alone since 2019, with 27 deaths. Dr. Jane Fazio of the UCLA School of Medicine sees many of those workers.
Those are abnormal.
She showed us how the lungs of a person with silicosis harden, then shrink.
They really do become hard. They become essentially stone.
So it's as if their lungs have turned to stone.
Yes.
There is no cure. The only treatment, she says, is often a risky double lung transplant. 52 California workers have required transplants just in the past few years. But she says there's a simple solution: ban engineered stone.
Change the product. Ban the high silica material.
But up in Minnesota, the country's largest domestic engineered stone slab manufacturer, Cambria, says she's wrong.
The ban will not solve the problem. It's not a product issue, it's a process issue.
Cambria's former president, now executive vice president, Micah Aberson, says Cambria has been making its products safely for 25 years.
And in those 25 years, we haven't had a single reported case of silicosis.
Aberson says the responsibility for sick workers lies with other fabrication shops around the country that don't follow safety regulations and need tighter government enforcement.
If they can't do it safely, then they need to be shut down.
But the country of Australia doesn't agree it can be fabricated safely. In 2024, it banned the use of engineered stone entirely, finding it poses an unacceptable risk to workers. And hundreds of doctors are now urging California to do the same, citing an escalating health emergency. As to Tyler Jordan, in 2024, his condition worsened. Doctors told him his exposure to silica had caused his kidneys to fail, and he needed a transplant.
And who was the donor?
My father.
He saved you.
Yes.
Tyler says that you saved him. Do you feel that way?
Kind of, but at the same time, I put him in that position. Unknowingly.
Tyler is now suing Cambria and other stone and tool manufacturers. In court filings, Cambria acknowledged Tyler's silicosis but denied responsibility, saying it had provided adequate warnings about its products. Cambria instead blamed Tyler's parents, saying they failed to provide a safe workplace for their son. Jimmy and Tina Jordan.
That's not true. They don't want the blame, so they're going to put blame on us. That we had a bad shop, that we had a dusty shop, that we were putting our employees in bad positions, but that's not true.
Yet a bill being pushed through Congress would stop all worker lawsuits against manufacturers and sellers of stone products, including Tyler's lawsuit.
Did Cambria help to write the bill?
There's a broad-based coalition that's pursuing this legislation in Washington.
And Cambria is part of that coalition.
That's correct.
I think it's a little bit ridiculous when a product is this dangerous to not have any repercussions about, putting it out and getting people sick or essentially killing them.
We wanted to know more about those proposed federal protections for businesses that would prevent stone workers from suing if they get sick. Now, our Jeff Slauson spoke with Anna Werner about her investigation, workplace safety, and the bill that would ban lawsuits.
So this federal bill would basically exempt manufacturers from any civil liability. In other words, it would protect them from any workers suing them. That's a very unusual thing reserved for only certain other industries, for example, gun manufacturers. So what they're really asking for is a way for them not to face lawsuits from these workers. If the workers feel they've been harmed, they would not have the recourse of suing and getting any kind of payments for the injury.
It seems that the manufacturers are saying that what they're doing can be done safely. The word safe, I guess, can be broad in some situations here. What did you find out whether safe is actually realistic in the practice that they're doing?
Yeah, so manufacturers, for example, the one we went to in Minnesota, they showed us their facilities and said, look, we do fabricate safely here. We have a fabrication shop. Our exposures are kept low. The question is, can that be implemented all around the country? One expert that I spoke to said, she's been inspecting shops in Georgia for over 20 years. She said, they'd have to do everything perfectly the right way 100% of the time. And she actually said, I've never actually seen a shop that's been able to do that. So there's a real question there. No matter how much enforcement you have, does that mean that workers are going to be protected? Australia, said, we don't think you can, and that's why they banned it.
California's Occupational Safety Board is considering the petition to ban those countertops in that state. The association that represents fabricators has said it does not support a blanket ban. Now, some manufacturers are currently making lower silica products, which is another alternative. For more on this investigation, check out the 19 Investigates tab on the free 19 News mobile app. Well, police need your help to find a killer. It's been 2.5 years after someone shot and killed Kiana Butler, leaving her 3 children without a mom and without answers. Investigator Sarah Goldberg takes us inside Kiana's case.
This is my daughter, Kiana, when she was born.
Photos of a life cut short too soon.
This is her when she was in high school.
July 27, 2023, around 12:30 a.m., Kiana Butler drove home from a gas station in the Huff neighborhood of Cleveland with her boyfriend in the passenger seat. As they got to the intersection of Ansel and Superior, Cleveland police say someone fired shots at them, hitting and killing Kiana. Her boyfriend grabbed the wheel, stopping the car up the road, and then realized he had been shot too.
And as a mother, I'm hurting and I'm in pain. And I need to know who took my child's life.
Kiana, in her early 40s, was Robin Butler's only child. They had just left Robin's house, celebrating her birthday a day earlier.
Never ever thought that in a million years that would be my last time with my child. Never, ever, ever would I think that.
Their lives changed forever.
They turned our whole family upside down.
Kiana was a mother of 3, her youngest just 11 years old at the time. Kiara is her middle child.
She was amazing. She was a fun mom, like the best mom ever.
She tries to stay strong for her little sister.
It's been hard. It's been a challenge, but honestly, it made me want to become a better woman and strong.
Officer Mariah Rodriguez with the Cleveland Division of Police tells us detectives need more leads to move this case forward.
So it is a huge loss. Kids are grieving, the mother's grieving of her own daughter. It's sad. It shouldn't have happened.
As the 3-year anniversary of Kiana's murder gets closer, police are still actively investigating.
So what are the challenges you're facing now in the investigation?
We reviewed the technology with real-time crime and any other additional surveillance that's around, but we've kind of came to a point where we don't have any more leads, and we're kind of asking the public for a little bit more, if anyone heard anything, if anyone knows anything, if they were around the area when it happened and seen anything and just hasn't said anything in this time. We want to bring closure to this family.
A family still grieving, but trying to remember the good times. Robin called Kiana her butterfly, a beautiful social person. Her friends from Shaw High School, where she graduated from, had another name for her.
Yeah, her nickname was Kibu.
As she raises Kiana's youngest child, Robin prays she'll have answers soon.
And it's another year, coming on another year, embarking this pain, not knowing, not having an inkling, not knowing what's going on or what's going to happen.
Some sort of closure, she says, would be better than nothing at all.
And I need to know, whoever you are out there and whatever you did, please confess. Turn yourself in.
Just one phone call. That could be all it takes to help solve this case and get answers for Kiana's family. Something that may seem simple, from the color of a car to someone seen in the area when this happened, could help crack open this case. Sarah Goldenberg, 19 News.
If you have any information that you think may help, please, you can call CPD's Homicide Unit at 216-623-5464. You can also call Crime Stoppers with an anonymous tip at 216-252-7463, or you can go to 25crime.com. There is a cash reward of up to $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and indictment of anyone responsible for this crime. As businesses and government agencies rely more on connected systems, the risk of a cyber attack or a data breach remains very high. Consumer investigator Carice Jackman talks with a cybersecurity CEO about steps that can help reduce your risk.
For Danny Jenkins, educating workers and the public about cyber attacks is a key part of protecting personal data.
I've also seen IT people go into the breakdowns almost, because they walk into an office, they've got, every computer's got a red screen on it. Your files have been accessed. Please send us X Bitcoin to get your files back. And it's the worst feeling in the world.
Jenkins is the CEO and founder of Threat Locker, a cybersecurity company that sells tools designed to help businesses defend against attacks. He says some sectors can be attractive targets, including healthcare, because of how much sensitive information they store.
When you go to a hospital, obviously, you give a lot of personal information. You tell the doctor your biggest problems, they have records, they have scans, they have all your blood tests, they know everything about you. And if they get breached, then that means your data now gets put on the internet.
This is why he says strong security matters, especially with ransomware. And while you cannot always prevent a breach, he says consumers can take steps to limit the damage.
And you can do things like lock your credit reports when you're not applying for credit, so then nobody can apply for credit in your name. You can monitor your tax returns and monitor your credit for someone hitting it.
And for anyone managing accounts that hold sensitive information, he recommends turning on two-factor authentication when it is available.
It doesn't cost anything, it's normally free with every service. It annoys the user that they have to put a second code in, but they'll get over it.
So whether you run a small business, work in local government, or just want to better protect your personal information, basic security steps can help reduce risk. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
The Federal Trade Commission also recommends using strong passwords, using at least 12 characters. And the agency says credit freezes are free to place or lift. Coming up next on 19 Investigates, a new push to prevent child trafficking right here in the state of Ohio. We're going to take a look at 2 pilot programs that will help police on the front lines identify possible victims before it's too late. And new technology is helping reunite lost pets with their owners faster and safer than ever. We'll show you how it works. That's still ahead. hearing examiner has recommended suspending a Medina surgeon's license after a patient died following a routine tooth extraction. That surgeon's fate now lies with the state dental board. Investigator Mike Mason has the latest.
He was the guy in the Santa outfit handing out candy canes to the little kids.
Brandy Miller remembers her late husband as a big, strong man and a great dad who loved his kids fiercely. That's how she described Matthew during a deposition in her lawsuit against Dr. Faisal Qureshi. This is video of his deposition from last year.
Would you have done anything differently in this case in hindsight?
No. In August of 2023, the 48-year-old man died during surgery to remove 3 of his teeth. Qureshi performed the surgery at his practice, the Visage Surgical Institute in Medina. The lawsuit states just moments after Qureshi gave Miller anesthesia, he stopped breathing. Miller then had a heart attack and died at the hospital 4 days later.
He's more than just a father of 3 and a husband.
Attorney Michael Pasternak represents Brandy Miller. In 2024, he filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Qureshi. The state dental board investigated, and in 2025, it notified Qureshi it planned to suspend or revoke his license. At a hearing last fall, both sides presented arguments. The board alleged Qureshi should have required a physician's clearance prior to surgery, especially since Miller was morbidly obese.
And nothing in his evaluation with me made me believe that he would be at a higher risk for anesthesia in my office.
He had every risk factor that you could imagine walking in terms of giving general anesthesia.
The state found Miller reported weighing 315 pounds when he actually weighed 355, making him super morbidly obese. The board said that alone would astronomically increase the risk of airway issues or concerns with anesthesia. The examiner found the state proved that Qureshi failed to conduct a full medical evaluation and that he failed to adequately monitor Miller while under anesthesia.
If you don't have someone watching the monitors and the person starts decompensating, meaning they're not breathing right, this is the very thing that will happen. That's why you have to have a trained observer. He did not have one.
The board alleged Qureshi changed Miller's anesthesia records after surgery or let someone else do it. But the hearing examiner said it did not appear that he changed the records in order to deceive anyone. In conclusion, she felt what happened to Miller was an isolated failure. She recommended the following: suspend Qureshi's license to administer anesthesia for 6 months to a year, followed by 2 years of probation. The civil lawsuit is still ongoing. It's important to note Qureshi has not been charged with a crime. His attorney declined to comment since this case is still pending. The board will review the hearing examiner's recommendation when it meets again in March. We'll of course stay on top of this and keep you updated. Mike Mason, 19 News.
Fighting child trafficking in Ohio, 2 new pilot programs just rolled out by the governor's office aimed to help children most at risk, including runaways. Cuyahoga County will be one of 3 counties taking part. Investigator Sarah Goldenberg explains how it will work.
From cities to small towns, human trafficking happens here in Northeast Ohio. And children can quickly become victims.
And it's real. The issue is real. They end up with somebody who grooms them, somebody who takes advantages of them, and somebody who sells them.
Ohio Department of Public Safety Director Andy Wilson calls human trafficking a terrible epidemic in our state and across the country.
What kind of problem is it when it comes to children and human trafficking in Ohio?
Yeah, so we know that kids who end up in the system, kids who come from broken homes, kids who are habitually runaways, that those kids are more at risk to being trafficked.
A pilot program just announced days ago by Governor Mike DeWine will send caseworkers with anti-human trafficking expertise into 3 public children's service agencies here in Cuyahoga County and Hamilton and Montgomery counties.
That person will be a resource that can handle potential human trafficking cases, that can screen children for the potential of human trafficking, and will be, again, a go-to kind of consultant for all of the other social workers and all of the other partner entities that are working with kids who may be subject or at risk for trafficking. So it really is, it is a great asset or a great resource.
The second initiative focuses on runaways. The goal, to intervene early before missing children can become victims of human trafficking. Social workers will work hand in hand with police, responding first in cases where children repeatedly run away, often from foster care or group homes. They'll screen kids and teens for human trafficking and offer other services for trauma.
They look at getting at the root cause of why that kid is running away, and they're really trying to intervene and prevent that kid from continually leaving a placement. So in doing that, it also takes the pressure off the law enforcement, who are typically your first responders there.
The pilot is modeled after Denver's RONI project, which stands for Runaway Outreach Notification and Intervention. Wilson says it saved more than 6,000 hours of police response time in Colorado, giving officers more time to investigate missing persons cases where foul play is expected. In Ohio, the program will start in Montgomery County, home to Dayton, which has the highest number of kids per capita placed in group homes. Both initiatives trying to protect the most vulnerable kids from becoming victims.
And we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can as a state to protect kids against becoming victims of human trafficking.
The governor says human trafficking is underreported, and he hopes these pilot programs will identify more child victims and help them recover. Sarah Goldenberg, 19 News.
The two pilot programs will cost just under $1 million, funded by Ohio's Office of Criminal Justice Services, with the Department of Children and Youth helping to fund the 2-year RONI project. Well, when a pet goes missing, every second counts. The longer they're gone, the harder it becomes to reunite them safely with their owners. Jen Pachano shows us how pet owners are bringing their lost companions home quicker with the help of new technology.
We realized that she was missing when she didn't come running for her dinner, because she loves her dinner.
Amy Price feared her cat Lucy would not be able to find her way home after she got out recently during a cold Ohio day.
I just had that feeling of dread, because, out in the cold, in the snow, they're indoor cats. I was going to do the print out a picture and put it on the telephone post and take it to your neighbor's strategy.
She knew cats are notoriously difficult to reunite with their owners, especially black cats like Lucy. They're hard to photograph and detect their features for better identification.
I was pretty hopeless.
A friend turned her on to a better way, Love Lost. It's a free pet reunification program from Petco Love. It's a database that uses AI.
What we do is we search all the shelters in your area, all the community reported pets that have been reported directly into Petco Lost, but we're also scanning all the posts in Nextdoor and Neighbors by Ring.
Aaron Klein with Petco Love says their tech is constantly scanning for matches with every new entry and alerts owners if they get a hit.
We take multiple images of your animal and composite them and look at the potential matches, and we will show you the pets that are highly likely your match, so you don't have to look through pages and pages and pages of pets.
More than 3.5 million animals are run through the database for Love Lost every year, and they're on pace for more than 110 reunifications this year alone. Summit County has entered into a partnership with the pet licensing platform DocuPet. Owners can access 24/7 pet relocation assistance. The owner's phone number can be on the pet's tag, or they can choose something more private for the tags.
They can have on there an 800 number that they can contact DocuPet, and including the website, notify DocuPet that I found this pet. Please notify the owner so that the owner can give me a call so they can be reunited.
Through DocuPet, pet owners can also make a missing pet report.
The pet owner has the ability to go into the system and say, on this day, I lost my pet. This is what the pet looks like. If you see the pet, please call this number.
After uploading pictures of Lucy to Love Lost, Amy got some immediate hits for possible matches. She was able to message the finder and confirm it was her missing cat. A tearful reunion came next.
Gave Lucy back into the arms of my daughter, and she just burst out crying. She was absolutely elated, overjoyed, and she just couldn't believe it. And so that just gave me renewed hope in new technology and new avenues that I wasn't even aware of until this situation.
Pet owners like Price are grateful this new technology is bringing furry friends home faster and keeping more animals out of shelters. Jen Pachano, 19 News.
The stories we showed you today are streaming now on 19 News Plus. You can download the app for free on your Apple TV, Roku, or Amazon Fire TV device. And coming up next week on 19 Investigates, a firefighter's widow gets stuck playing the middle person between her late husband's HR department and their health insurance company. We'll share her story and tell you what you should do if an accidental insurance drop happens to you. That's all coming up next week on 19 Investigates. I'm Brian Duffy. Thanks for watching.